भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Introduction of Gita, page number 23. It was very interesting, dear devotees, what we are reading today. The process of, please hear this attentively, the process of quitting this body and getting another body in the material world is also organized. A man dies after it has been decided what form of body he will have in the next life. A man dies after it is been decided what form of body he will have in his next life. Higher authorities, not the living entities himself, make this decision. According to our activities, in this life we either rise or sink. This life is a preparation to the next life. If we can prepare, therefore, in this life to get the promotion to the kingdom of God, then surely after quitting this material body, we will attain a spiritual body, just like the Lord's. As explained before, there are different kinds of transcendentalists, the Brahmavadi, Paramatmavadi, and the devotee. And as mentioned in the Brahmajyoti, the spiritual sky, there are innumerable spiritual planets. The number of these planets is far, far greater than all of the planets of this material world. This material world has been approximated only as one-fourth creation. Ekam shena sito jagat. One-fourth means if the spiritual world is three-fourth, this material world is one-fourth. In this material segment, there are millions and billions of universes with trillions of planets and suns, stars and moons. But this whole material creation is only a fragment of the total creation. That means it's only one-fourth, even if we have million universes. Most of the creation is in the spiritual sky. One who desires to merge into existence of the Brahman is at once transferred to the Brahma Jyoti of the Supreme Lord and thus attains the spiritual sky. The devotee who wants to enjoy the association of the Lord enters into the Vaikuntha planets, which are innumerable, in the Supreme Lord by his plenary expansions as Narayana with four hands and with different names like Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Govinda associate with them with him there. This is the Govinda. It is not Krishna. It is expansion of the Lord. He is also called Govinda. This is a Govinda who actually resides in the spirit in the Vaikuntha plains. Therefore, at the end of the life, the transcendentalists think either of the Brahma Jyoti, the Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. In all cases, they enter into the spiritual sky, but only the devotee or who is personal touch with the Supreme Lord enters into the Vaikuntha planets or Goloka Vrindavan planet. That means there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and then there is one which is very unique, it's Goloka. The Lord further adds that of this there is no doubt. This must be believed firmly. We should not reject that which does not tally with our imagination. Our attitude should be that of Arjuna. I believe everything that you Karishi. Etadeshe tata kuru. I believe that everything you have said. Therefore, when the Lord says at the time of the death, whoever thinks of him as Brahman or Paramatma or the personality of God, certainly, there is no if, but certainly, Krishna is telling certainly he will enter into the spiritual sky. There is no doubt about it. There is no question of disbelieving it. The Bhagavad Gita 8.6 also explained. We will read this tomorrow. So, dear devotees, we'll pray the Mangalachal. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Gadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Sriyuta Padakamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavam Sham Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, phangam langayate girim. Kripa tamaham bande, Shri Guru Dinatarin. It's a very interesting explanation given by Srila Prabhupada here in this introduction. He's telling for sure, whoever follows the words of the Lord, they will go to the spiritual sky. There is no doubt about it. It all depends on the desire of the jiva. Now, what kind of relationship he wants to he wants to follow. Because if the desire is deep, then the process of acceptance is deep, and the process of submission will become deep. But if the desire is not deep, the desire is surface level. I'll give an example. For example, you you know you wanted to buy a car. You go to the store, and then the person will tell the salesman, this is a car. You have to buy this, and this is a good car. Everything is good. You get good mileage and everything. But in the co- in the heart, you're not interested actually, because that's not a requirement for you, because you already have something. You already have a car. So that person is trying to, you know, make a buy-in so that you purchase a car. But as the state of consciousness, as the desire is not that deep, you kind of ignore that person. And then you go to the other store. You're just passing the time, but you're not really purchasing it. Then again you go to some other store, some other showroom, again repeating the same thing. They will also convey the same message, but we are not interested. So time is passing. The car is not purchased. Why? Because we don't know whether we need to purchase it or not. That is first thing. Then the second thing is that we do not have a clarity. That means if a person doesn't have a clarity, what happens is he is uncertain. He is not sure whether he has to put it or not put it, whether to do it or not do it, accept it, do not accept it. He has no idea in those lines. So what is this showing? It's a material example, but still there's a lot to learn in that. The first thing what we are doing is we're spending time. What do we do? What is that person doing? He's spending time to go to different showrooms. And he's actually checking out every nook and corner, every car which is available, and then try to do a good deal. First thing is, what is he doing is wasting the time. The second thing is he just doesn't have a desire. Prabhupada actually mentions, if the sadhaka doesn't have a desire, then the progress in Krishna consciousness is hampered. It means utsaha, nischaya, dhairya, tat karma pravartana. That enthusiasm, determination, and patience. If these things are not there, that means for some unnecessary things, for some unnecessary agenda or propaganda, we are actually missing out on Krishna consciousness. That's the greatest problem actually. Unnecessary in the sense we should understand what is necessary, what is unnecessary. What I should do, what I shouldn't do. That clarity sadhaka should have. But here the person who's actually going is actually wandering different store. Why is he going to different stores? He himself doesn't have a clarity what to do. That's why I see so many people going to different organizations. They come to ISKCON, they go to some other organization, another organization. They're not fixing up at one aspect, because they themselves they do not have a clarity, because they don't know what they want to do, and they don't want to spend time also. Till devotees, this process is not like checking in a showroom. This process is a life thing. And there is no difference between checking in the showroom and then taking up this process. Why? Because both there might be perverted because it is opposite. Na urdhamula madosha is a perverted reflection. But there also time is wasting. Here also, if a sadhaka doesn't come to that state and then fully surrender, fully accept this process, then here also time is wasting. Now, another question will come. Now, why is he wandering like that? Going to different showrooms? Because person doesn't have a clarity. Not just that, he already has something which is very important, which we will discuss now. He already has another car, which is actually fulfilling his needs. So what does that mean? How do we connect that to Krishna consciousness? How do we connect to what Srila Prabhupada is telling us today? How do we understand that? Dear devotees, please hear this attentively. If you are feeling and understanding that this thing will help me, that thing will help me, she will help me, he will help me, somebody else will help me, this is actually a material nature cheating us. I'll tell an example. Jada was actually, he's actually behaving like a foolish man. Thinking that he doesn't understand anything. But he's the greatest sadhu. He knows everything. But he's actually staying in that state because he knows the moment I get connected to this material nature, then my consciousness is diluted. What does the delusion do? Delusion keeps in illusion because it is diluted now. When dilution is there, then what is happening? The consciousness is actually uprooted from the natural state. When the consciousness is uprooted from the natural state, what is happening? Bewilderment. The person who is actually going to the showroom is actually in that state. That's why he doesn't understand that time is wasting. He's thinking that he's doing time pass. Because what is the reason? Because he wants to check out so many new things. Likewise, so many people will come to the organization thinking that, this is something new. Oh, what are they saying? They are worshipping Krishna. Okay, what is this? But they don't go inside. They don't give time. I was talking to a devotee yesterday. Devotee, understand, is not interested or favorable to take the process. Is not spending time. Dear devotees, nothing will come if we do not spend time. Are everyday hearing only we do not understand these subtle nuances which are actually driving it from the background. Everyday hearing also, if it is not taken, because it will take time. Everyday hearing also, the subtle elements, to absorb the subtle elements, it will take time. But when the subtle elements are absorbed, then that person will surrender. He has no second thought actually. If the person is not surrendering, means the subtle elements are not understood. That means he's not feeling that relationship, he's not establishing that connection. Actually, this is the greatest fortune, to establish relationship with the acharyas, to establish relationship with the Lord. But the problem is the subtle elements are not understood. That's why it cannot move forward in that right direction. Just like that person is actually wandering from one store to the other store because he already has another plan. That means we have our own agenda in this world. Everyone has an agenda, and they are actually working for that agenda only. I know every person in this world has that agenda. I was talking to a person a few days back. His agenda is to get money, nothing else actually. If that money is not fulfilled, he is ready to do whatever he wants. That means, dear devotees, please understand this. If we do not get something, immediately dvesha will come. Very important. If I do not get anything, immediately, this is a conditioned state of the soul. Immediately dvesha, enmity will come. Oh, this is to this person I'm suffering. Why? Because that person has an attachment to that. Just like this person, not just this, every soul in this world has different attachments in this world. That is why Krishna is personally mentioning in Gita that these attachments are the one which is actually pulling the sadhaka down. Why we do not get up every day in the morning to complete our rounds? I'm just telling, we are not getting up. Why? Because we have attachments. Why? Because we have so many other things to do. We have other businesses in this world, in the night, especially in the night. Who are getting up in the morning, they are cutting down their business in the night, which is good. That is what we should do. We should completely cut down our business, go early to bed. That is actually good for your health also. We are not zombies or we are not nocturnal animals. That is not our natural. That is natural for them. An owl will actually, it sleeps in the day, wakes up in the night. That's the natural state for the owl. That means it completely lives in that state, complete ignorance. Oh, we don't have to go that because the human form is meant for what? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, a conditioned soul, sleeping time is a waking up time for the realized soul. And the spiritualist sleeping time is actually waking up for the conditioned soul. Oh, what does that mean? Krishna actually tells this in Gita. The conditioned soul, when he sleeps, the spiritualist is actually getting up. He's actually following his process, aspiring for that self-realization. Today I had to go through one aspect early in the morning. I felt that array, the time is wasted now in the morning. The mind will trick. You woke up, you attended the Mangalarti. Even after that, the mind can trick us, can deviate us to the other direction. I had to do the other service. So this tricking of the nature is it will always do. It will always tell us. So the sadhaka should actually perfect his life in that way. Just like here, this is a beautiful study. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, before a person leaves the body, his next body is already distant. That means whatever we are doing now, our next body is creating. It's been working in the background. Please understand, it depends on our desires. What are we cultivating? And if a person really wants to become pure, then Krishna will ensure that those situations will come. Because it is the desire of the jiva, na? If the jiva doesn't desire, then the situation will not come. For example, if a person is aspiring to become a millionaire, now through his karmic reaction in this lifetime, that might not be possible. So Krishna will arrange a facility or a situation in such a way that after few lifetimes he will get that. If the desire is very deep. And he's actually working on that desire. Because the karma has to fructify, na? For that he has to do some action. He'll be given some situation. He should be honest. Do this, give some charity. All of those things when it has to take few lifetimes. And he should be not, he should be friendly with everyone. These are some basic qualities, you know, so that the devotee, not devotee, a person will become a millionaire in some life. He has to lead a simple life in his previous life. Because when he is in that state, then eventually he will get one body, one life, and then through that life he'll become a millionaire. That means whatever we are doing now is actually yielding us another body. So actual purpose is that you should actually work for that because we're not temporary. We didn't come just like that. It's a long-term commitment. It's not like a short-term thing. But here in this world, what is happening is through the advancement of technology, everyone wants short-term. Short-term. What is coming for me in the short term? They're not actually looking for the long-term plan. Purpose is that you should look for the long-term plan. What is the long-term plan? Looking for the future. use this life, use this life. If we use this life properly, doing what Guru Sadhu Shastra is telling, then lead a simple life. If we are simple only, we can think higher things. If you are not simple, we cannot think higher things. If you are simple, then we will actually become honest. Simplicity is the essence of everything. See, to lead a simple life, we might not need so much phantasmagoria of this world. And if a person is not simple, his thoughts will not be deep. He will not understand the subtle aspects which are actually driving. It's an important statement. Whatever I am doing today, that is what is actually bringing or building up the next body. That means, for example, if I'm doing something, do I just do like that without any thought process behind it? No, right? Even a dog which is there in the street, if it is doing something, it has a thought process behind it. What are the basic thought process which it will go through? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That means for these four things only it will actually react. Because the consciousness is limited. Please understand this, dear devotees. The animalistic lives which we went through before we come to the human form of life, that means only these four elements have we worked on. Yes. Only these four elements we worked on. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That means when a person gets the human form of life, as the consciousness is actually implemented through that aspect, that means the consciousness is actually engineered through that only. The bodies might be different, but the state of consciousness is same. The location might be same, might be different, time might be different. Some might do in the daytime, some might do in the night time. But the doing of actions and reactions are same. And especially for the animalistic life, there's no reactions. Because it's not been, I always answer this question. Why is it only human beings have these karmic reactions? Why not animals? Why humans were being kept like that? Or humans should also be removed from the karmic reaction. Why is that human beings have to go through these karmic reactions? There's a deep reason behind it. And that's why animals are innocent, dear devotees. Because they don't know. They just do eating, sleeping, mating, and different. Other than that, they're simple. If we go and try to poke the nose, then they will react. But if you're leading your life, they will also lead their life. Just like Haridas Thakur Maharaj is actually there in that cave, continuously, intensely chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Through that intense chanting, the snake was also there next to him, but snake was doing his job. He was doing his job. Because I'll tell this, why there is no karmic reaction for animals? Because it is actually going in the flow. Nothing more than that. So it is 1 second, it is 1 second. Please excuse me. Hare Krishna, can you hear me okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Hear you.
Right. It's a failure. లేదు. Okay. So the connection What are they doing, dear? What is they're just going through their normal life. And the Lord has kept them in that situation. And then their intelligence is also designed in such a way that they are capable to do only these four things. That means they cannot differentiate whether this is right or that is right. They do not have raga, dvesha. They might show krodha, but they do not have this cunning mentality which a human being should have. Please understand. Actually, animals they teach greater lesson to the human beings. But the problem is, human beings always think that he knows something, which we discussed yesterday, right? Falsification. Nirmana, moha, jitasanga, those the falsification, false propaganda. Through that false propaganda, what is he always thinking? I know everything. You don't have to teach me. But the animals are not like that, dear devotees. They do not have that nature or that attitude. They lead a simple life as per their nature and swabhava. For tiger, killing deer is a simple life. Please understand. Tiger is not committing a sinful activity there. Based on the desire of the jiva, it gets a tiger's body. For example, if a human being is there and he's so much absorbed in his consciousness to eat meat, there are a lot of people like that who continue who doesn't eat anything without meat. He should have some meat in that. I know my friends they tell, "Arey, no matter what vegetarian you feed me, I should have some meat at the end or in between or before." For those kind of jivas, it's a rajo, na? Completely rajo, passionate. They'll get that kind of bodies. And then if you actually see after getting that kind of bodies, they are in another natural state. Obviously, they're in complete illusion. But within that illusion, they have some kind of natural propensity of just doing these four things. Because that is the desire of the jiva to do that propensity. So Lord will keep or send, the material nature will send and put the jiva into that deha, into that body. Unless and until jiva is been kept in that state, he cannot enjoy it. That means, but then what happened to his desire? His desires will be dormanted until he gets the next body. The Atma will take some time. It will go through the karmic reaction. If the person has to go to the hellish planets, he will go there. And then he has to go through his cycle of karmic, because he did karma, na? He has to go to hell or heaven. If he did good karma, he'll go to heaven. If he did bad karma, he'll go to hell. And then after that, eventually he'll get the tiger body because that was because what is his desire? To eat more. That means what is happening? The gross things which we are connected to in this particular world, they are actually driving our consciousness because we are connected to because we are connected to that now. We're connected to that aspect because that aspect is actually helping the jiva to move from one state to the other state. That means this is actually driving the jiva to get the other life. Because we have no idea. If you actually see deer, the deer which is deer to Bharat Maharaj, not that deer, this is another deer. The deer propensity to live is only within a vicinity of a couple of miles. It will not go entire life, it will stay in that couple of miles only. It's a limited. Please understand this, devotees. A jiva who is actually in that limited state, can that jiva understand the unlimited qualities of the Lord? To understand the unlimited qualities of the Lord, to understand qualities of his pure souls, the Jiva's consciousness has to be elevated. If the Jiva's consciousness is not elevated, he will never understand that. For example, if a person is totally absorbed in Ahara, Nidra, Bhayava, Idunancha, in the human form of life, which is unnaturally, that is natural because he came, because we all evolved through that state only. Not that we are practicing today, that doesn't mean that these things are gone completely. These things are there because we did the same thing in our previous lives. That's why Prabhupada says that only in the human form of life a person will get higher intelligence. Through that higher intelligence, because that is a blessing of the Lord. Because Lord has to elevate the soul now. For example, if the human being is staying in this animalistic consciousness, will he ever understand the science of Krishna consciousness? So to understand that science of Krishna consciousness is he gives intelligence. But sad part, we use that intelligence to make a livelihood in this world. We use that intelligence to tell our children, oh, you should do good, you should do good, you should do great, you should earn $1 million, you should become a millionaire. What will that give to the jiva? He's actually suffering. The jiva is actually suffering because he came. He took shelter of a mother's womb. That means he's suffering. Don't we say suffering? Do you know what is? This is a suffering only. But the jiva will not understand. Why? Because these things are dominating now. Jiva is always in this state of perplexity. This thing is dominating in his consciousness. That's why the higher intelligence which the Lord has given, that is not used in the right way. That is why karmic reactions are coming. Please understand. It is not that, oh, Lord is, why he's like this, he's behaving like this, he should be nice with us. Why is he sending, why my son died, or why my wife died, or why he died, she died, why my this person, that person died. We have no idea about that, why things are happening in that way. Because of the karmic reactions. Because what is happening, the given higher intelligence is improperly used. But to the animals, the higher intelligence is not given. Especially when the higher intelligence is not given, that means the independence is limited. When the independent is limited, the karmic reactions are also limited. For example, if you are simple, na. For example, if you are kept, like if a person has been kept in a jail, is confined to a smaller boundary, will he be able to commit crime? No, because he's confined, na. Because he's in the jail, he cannot commit the crime. What is happening to his independence? His independence is shortened. So when the independence is shortened, what is happening? The person is supposed to do crime, that is reduced. That's only on a temporary level. Likewise, the body of an animal is also like that. Before, the body was a human body. The person was given that human body before. But now what happened is this body became to confinement. The body is confined. That means his actions are being taken care. From that actions, he came to the lower actions. Where the independence was higher, now the independence is lower. I mean, you see this, right, in government jobs. If a person is a DCP or a person is SP, Superintendent of Police, Deputy Commissioner of Police, they have big, big quarters. If a person is a constable, will he get a quarters? Will he get a quarters which is just like that for Deputy Commissioner of Police? No. He will get a room. He might get a room, but he'll not get a quarters. He'll not get a big home where he can stay. Because the cadre is different, na? Likewise, a human being is a higher cadre. Now the lower cadre is animalistic life, that is less. That means, for example, if he commits mistakes, the DCP commits mistakes, it is more because everybody will watch. But if a constable will commit mistakes, who will watch? It's not a big news, but if a big person does the mistake, it's a big news. That's how the confinement is created in this world. It's a beautiful arrangement of the Lord. See, Lord is never partial. He gives what the Jew was supposed to get. It's pretty clear. That means we cannot put blame on the Lord, on the material nature. Oh, why Isaac you, Isaac you? We cannot put the blame because everything is perfectly arranged now. For example, if we do not have uh, right consciousness, that is our problem. That's not the problem of the Lord. Our intelligence is given. We have to use that intelligence in right way. See, just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur told to many people like that. Not just Srila Prabhupada, he told to so many people. Oh, you're a uh, wherever he has seen a person who is educated, he told him that, you're well educated. You should take this practice of Krishna consciousness. And then you should preach this science. It's beneficial for you also. Not he just did not told to Srila Prabhupada, he told to others also. But Srila Prabhupada took it to the core of the heart. Why? Because that intelligence which was given to him, and that association which he took from his father, what is happening? Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha. That means the false identification is not there. Illusion is not there. False association is also not there. These three things are not there. Real identification is there. Absolute truth is there. And a good association is there. Absolute truth he received from his father. Good association he received from his father. Through that good association, he understands that what is false identification. As he already has his armor in his consciousness, the moment he went to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, immediately, just like a butter and the fire, immediately, immediately there is a reaction. Because when Srila Prabhupada met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, immediately he accepted, oh, he is a pure soul. I surrender my life to him. That's it. What is happening? The same intelligence which is given to so many other living entities also, because so many people came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, but nobody could understand what he was telling. Because the false identification, illusion, false association is there in the consciousness. One word of the Lord is the answer to everything actually. Cannot put that word down. That is the greatest clarity. Prabhupada actually, that's why if you actually see, you tell anything to Srila Prabhupada, through that he'll tell everything in Krishna consciousness. You can tell anything, you can show anything to him. Because what are they? They are power personalities. I see that in my spiritual master also. He's also like that. Great person. Whatever I tell, he'll tell the truth from that. Because 24 hours is the truth only. Because 24 hours is dealing with the services, is dealing with the devotees, is taking care of them. Any issues, problems, concerns, everything is managed. He established the platform, community, devotees, cows, brahmanas, children, the principles of Bhagavatam. What are the principles of Bhagavatam? What Bhagavatam says to protect? Bhagavatam says to protect cows, brahmanas, children, and elderly people. These four things are there in our community. Children are protected through the school, not just children, the children of the city. They are also protected through the school. Elderly people are protected through the dham, through the community, because they can stay in the community. And the brahmanas are protected through their services. Cows are protected through by providing them the facility. And all of these things are running through Bhagavad Dharma. What is that Bhagavad Dharma? Every day discussing Bhagavad. Through that Bhagavad Dharma, what is happening? Everyone's consciousness is improving. Because they don't think about Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. Because if you discuss those things every day, when you meet those things, you surrender yourself to that. You don't do that. You don't react. Simply beg. You simply beg your pardon. It's my mistake only. I will accept this and move forward. This is what? This is higher intelligence. Can an animal think like this? You tell me. That is why animals do not have karmic reactions. That is why when a tiger kills a deer, that is for his food. The tiger will not be punished because it killed a deer. No. Now you understand, and not just that, here the Lord is also fulfilling the desire of a jiva. Because the jiva desired to do that. Hare Krishna. What a dear devotees, you see the Lord, how is he manifesting through this such a wonderful creation, and every person has a desire, through all those desires are fulfilled in this life, for the next life, for the next life, for the next life, or the next life. If a person has a deep connection to the opposite body, then he'll get that kind of opposite body in his next life, or the next life, or the next life. If a woman really is aspiring for the man, then she'll get a man body. If a man is really aspiring for a woman, he'll get a woman body. That means that through that consciousness only everything is driving. That means if our thought, that means when different thoughts are coming in the heart, that means we need to understand, what kind of thought is it? Is this correct? Is this congenial to me? Should I do that? Should I not do it? This differentiation has to come because that intelligence is given to us, na? Bharat Maharaj didn't have that association. He couldn't differentiate. He was thinking that he was just taking care of the deer. But that became a great problem for him later. Because he had to take another deer body. It's not a joke, Krishna consciousness means. Krishna consciousness means, oh, I have some time, let me, abhi time pass karenge thoda. Have some time, let me hear. No. This is actually for our life. This is actually life science. This life science has to be taken to the core of the heart. That means, dear devotees, today we are actually building our next body. Please understand this. We are using this time to build our next body. A lot of people will say, "Oh, when I become old age, then I'll think about this." Now I'm young, or now I'm in my teenage. I don't have to think like that. I don't have to discuss like that. No, no, no. We have to think now only because we don't know how many days we will live. We have no idea. Person doesn't know that he will live like 70 years or 80 years. He has no clue. He's just there. You see, when Shringi, he cursed Parikshit Maharaj, Shemikrishi, so mercifully he told Shringi that, you know what, you're cursing, you have cursed Parikshit Maharaj. They are so exalted Vaishnava Acharyas. You see, they will not counter curse you. If they counter curse you, that is better for you. But they will never do that. It's not that Parikshit Maharaj doesn't want to help him. Parikshit Maharaj was not in a position to counter curse. Because his consciousness is not that. His consciousness is acceptance. It means whatever situation comes, my dear Lord, without your sanction, nothing will come. This is a very clear indication that you are telling me to come back. I'll use this opportunity fully. And through that opportunity, he goes to Sukadeva Goswami Maharaj and then he hears from his spiritual master for the next 7 days. If he would have cursed, then this Brahmana society wouldn't have been like this. You know why the Brahmana society is like this today? Everyone is just either all of them, they went to America making a livelihood, making an earning, and rest whoever are there, they're actually suffering. Why? Because this is the curse which Shringi received. It's a curse, na? That means everyone is actually suffering through that. After that, actually, that is the downfall of the Brahmanas. Because what happened, that Brahmana took charge. Because Shringi, he mentioned very clearly. You see, Krishna is not there now. That's why you're thinking. Because that's why you have humiliated my father by putting a dead snake on my neck. Because Parikshit Maharaj was thirsty. He called Shamik Rishi after going to his ashram. But Shamik Rishi was not responding. Then what happened? He would say dead snake and then he would keep the dead snake. This is the first time, dear devotees, Parikshit Maharaj actually responding like that. And then after responding like that, Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, I know, why did I respond like this? What problem I did? What did I do? Why did I respond like this? He was contemplating continuously. Then he gets this message from Shamik Rishi that you've been cursed and then you'll be dying in 7 days. And he says that I cannot take this back. This is that kind of a curse which is cursed by my son. It's very interesting that his father actually trained him. And then now he used it for a wrong purpose. Because he's not thinking what that person is. That's why we shouldn't take any decision just like that, dear devotees. We should think a lot about that. We should discuss. Should discuss with our, oh yeah. We should not think a lot about that. We should just discuss. We should not do it alone. We should discuss and then slowly we should do it. But Shringi did not discuss. He did not even ask his father, what should I do? I was thinking, I have this opinion. Should I curse Parikshit Maharaj? He did not ask that to his father. This is lack of submissiveness. That's why submission is a great thing which helps us a lot. We need to be very submissive. I'm learning. Should learn how to be submissive. It's very important. This life is meant for learning, dear devotees. Because that was arrogance. Oh, my father has been kept in this state. Do you think that Krishna is not there? No, I'll take charge. No, I will curse him to die. Whom is he cursing? Whom is he cursing? He's cursing great person who's actually ruling this entire world. Now, that person who's ruling this entire world, he could have counter cursed, but this is a quality of a Vaishnava. They accept every situation. Bapre. You don't know how many, this deep acceptance, knowing that Krishna is there, knowing that this is what my spiritual master told me, and then just following that. What kind of consciousness is that? Does animals have this consciousness? No. That's why a human being is prone for karmic reactions. Because he has that intelligence, but if he misuses that, he gets a karmic reaction. Not the animals. Because the animal's intelligence is taken away. It's very important. Whatever we are doing today, for example, if we are envious towards any person in the heart, and then sharing that enmity to the others, please understand we'll get a karmic reaction for that, for sure. We should not discuss having envy to the other person, to the other person. For example, if a person has enemy, for example, if a person has enmity towards another person, and then this person, I'll tell, three persons are there, A, B, C. A has enmity towards B. And then A is not talking to B. A goes to C. And then A speaks ill about B with C. And C also has some ill feelings towards B. Then that is a feast for C. That is feast for A, feast for C. Then A and C become friends. Why? Because they have a common person whom they don't like. This is how communities are created now. This is how religion came now. My religion is good. If you don't follow my religion, you'll go to hell. What is this? Envy towards the other person. Will Lord ever be like that? Telling that if you do not follow this, you'll go to hell. Alex, what kind of God is that? It's very important. Remember, uh, Anta Vizole Radhana Swami Maharaj was being kept in that state. He was actually discussing this happened in Columbus at Ohio State University. He was actually discussing with a person who is a preacher, a Christian preacher. Then Maharaj was asking him, why is the God like that? And why he why he's telling if why he's telling if he doesn't follow or do this, he'll go to hell. And he immediately said, I don't want to go to that kind of place where if I do not follow this, I'll go to hell. Because Lord is not that kind of a father. He's a loving father. Now the Lord will send a jiva who is very adamant to hell. Because for correction is sending, just like there is a jail in this world, the jail is there for correction only. It is not to proclaim or do a show that let me have some people in this jail. No, the jail is there for that, for reformatory place. Likewise, the hellish planets are there for that. But that doesn't mean that whoever doesn't follow the religion, they will all go to hell. That is not right. This is hypocrisy. That means what is happening? The intelligence is used in an incorrect way. Lord doesn't like that. Likewise, a Vaishnava, he will accept everyone. He'll see good in everyone because he's seeing the presence of the Lord. If he sees the presence of the Lord, does he ever be envious towards the other person? He will not. Why will he carry envy? For example, you have a family. Are we envious about our children? No. Why? Because they belong to us. Likewise, Vaishnava feel that this entire world belongs to them. Because this is a creation of the Lord. That means this entire world is their family. As they're convinced with that act, through that act, they're never envious with them. That's how they actually establish an Advaita principle. Advaita Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunivacha. Because they're not envious towards anyone, towards any jiva. Because they have that attitude, that's how they could give Krishna consciousness to others. That is their pure consciousness. That's what Prabhupada did. He established this organization. Because everybody were envious against it. People were telling, oh, you're pounds and shillings, man. Prabhupada was being told, you just run behind money. Prabhupada, he never took that to his heart. He's been called pounds and shillings. Prabhupada actually says Lilamrita. But he says that I was never envious to the other person who told me that. He simply accepted every situation. Prabhupada told this. Oh, why are you going to the West? His godbrothers were telling, why are you doing like this? You think that you are great? No, he said, no, I'm not. But my spiritual master loves me so much. That's why as a service to him, I'm going there. Let me see that establishment. That's how the consciousness is established. That's how we develop that relationship with them. We feel their presence in the heart. When we feel their presence in the heart, the intelligence, that's how the intelligence is tuned up in our consciousness. When the intelligence is tuned up, what happens? We will never commit mistakes or sinful activities. That means that means we will never get karmic reactions. Please understand. We should control the tongue. We should control the urge of anger. We should control the anger. We should control the urge of mind. Because mind is always there. Buy this, buy that, do this, do that. We already have so many shoes, but mind will always tell, take another pair of shoes. I remember one time I was asking my colleague, many years back, when I was in Pittsburgh, many years back, I was asking, because I asked her, how many pairs of shoes you have? She said 65. I said, 65? What do you do with 65? I only have two. What do you do with 65? Oh, she started telling, for certain dresses, I wear certain shoes. To match my dress, I bought so many shoes. She's an American, bought so many shoes. I said, do you spend all your salary on that? She said, probably. So what's happening? This is also intelligence. Because what is she doing for that particular dress? She has to go to the store, she has to find which is the best pair of shoes. And she has to get it. If she doesn't like, then she'll go to the other store. What is she doing? She's spending time through intelligence. And what is she doing? She's actually spending her energy. What is the energy? Money. Now, where is she spending? On the shoes. Let's just give an example. There's so many examples like that. That means the jiva in this world is spending money for so many things. For so many things. So those things have to be tuned up. Not that money, that intelligence, that everything can be used in the service of the Lord. Then that is there, then that is a success in our extra consciousness. Because what are we doing? We are realizing that He's my Father. This is an opportunity for me to serve Him. And our acharyas, our spiritual masters, they are the medium. They show us the way. They give us the platform. They establish the consciousness in our heart. That's how we move forward. That's how we accept the truth. Please understand. This is not like something which is happening all of a sudden, and all of a sudden my heart is changed. No, how the heart will change all of a sudden? It has to go through a process. It cannot change just like that. Even a dog has to be trained. Sniffer dogs, how are they? They're trained. They will find the criminal because they're trained. The street dogs will not be, will not find because they're not trained. Are a dog to do an action, it has to be trained. Now, a conditioned soul is completely adamant with eating, sleeping, mating, defending this. That's how he came. And then by the blessing of the Lord, he gives intelligence. And then the Lord says that you use this intelligence to come out of these things. Or to do this in a pure platform. Pure eating, pure sleeping, pure mating, pure defending. How is it coming? Through pure intelligence. How is that happening? By purifying the mind. How is that happening? By hearing. How is it happening? By chanting. So when hearing is done, then the chanting is improved. If the hearing is not there, then there is no ruchi or asakti to chant. Very important. That's how we make progress. And I didn't even discuss about this. Where Srila Prabhupada is mentioning very nicely about Ekam Chena Sito Jagat. I'll tell that and conclude in few minutes. Dear devotees, the spiritual world is 3/4. The material world is 1/4. This 1/4 material world has innumerable planets, which we don't know, which we don't know how many number, which we don't know the count also. There are innumerable planets. They all comprise different kinds of living entities in this world. And all these jivas which are there in this material world, they're all rebellious. And then this is only a small fraction. compared to the eternal spiritual world, which is 3/4. It is like we can't imagine actually. Just understand this 1/4 itself, the science, even though science is advanced so much, it doesn't know what's happening actually here. And then there is no one sun, there are multiple suns, there are multiple planets, innumerable, uncountable. There are different jivas. Some jivas they have a fiery body. Some jivas they have watery body like ourselves. We have our body is a watery body. Water content is more. Some jivas the fire content is more. Some jivas air content is more. Some jivas some other content is more. Just like we have earth, water, fire, air, ether, some jivas body is built with something else, some other elements as per that particular planet, that particular nation, that particular creation. I have no idea. And then Lord actually goes to each and every planet. Lord actually goes to each and every planet. And then he's trying to help the jiva from there, elevate their consciousness slowly, slowly, steadily. This is what is happening. No idea. Absolutely. And this is only very minor, very short, and 3 times more is the spiritual world. And in the spiritual world, the planets are also innumerable. There are Vaikuntha planets, but there is one Golaka planet. And that's where the Lord resides. And whoever develops the consciousness which is telling in Gita, the consciousness which our acharyas are telling, whoever understands that, applies that, follows that, then that person is the immortal spiritual world. And so you have that opportunity. We all have to go to the spiritual world. You shouldn't come back again. Why you should come back to this material world? You shouldn't come back. Do not aspire for coming again to this material world unless you have a higher service. If you aspire for higher service, you'll come and you'll be kept in that situation. Since childhood, you'll practice Krishna consciousness. It depends on the desire, depends on the jiva, what the jiva aspires. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. I think I took a little more time. I'll stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, and Namo Krishna Prabhupada.
Subal
Thank you
Prabhu,
so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful every day enlightening us with different aspects. Today, especially, I learned like how we have to regulate our activities so that we wake up early and also try to seek uh, uh, from the elders, spiritual masters before taking a major decision like uh, that way develop a relationship with Siksha Gurus and with of course reading the perfects and the Diksha Guru and all. And wonderfully you explained about all these things, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. Pranam. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna, ma.
can you hear me?
Please tell.
Okay, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Today's class was very nice. The practical aspect of how to use our time and the activities of what I'm doing every day. And Prabhuji, I have a question about it's very important, like waste of time, like this phrase like I'm doing this but it's just a waste of time. I'm thinking like it's helping me or others in Krishna consciousness, but it's just waste of time. So Prabhuji, how I can determine that some activities I'm doing it uh, try to help person, like you said, like if someone has different gods and they are not serious or just coming casually, coming and going. And so how can where I should stop, or how should I know that it's just waste of my time, or I'm not on that level uh, to encourage them?
Actually, we should be careful with that association. Our time should be spent. That kind of association we shouldn't take. Why? Because if we take that association, there's a chance that we might also go that direction because we are not yet there in that state to to actually uplift them. So what we should do is the best thing is we should protect ourselves. Best protection is to stay away. No, if you have a relationship, if they are simple heart, if they are hearing, then we should ask them to slowly come to the plane of hearing every day. So when they hear every day, then what happens? Their consciousness will be improved. But if that is not there, then we should not spend much time. Because the Jiva is independent. Jiva always has so many desires. But we should be very fair with them. We shouldn't be unfair with them. That's what we should do. We should not be unfair. We should be simple with them. But we should not associate with them. Association is not to do not take any inspiration from that. No, we might see so many people like you go to a restaurant or not restaurant, if you go to a gas station, do you get inspired to the person who's there in the gas station? No, we don't. We just do our business and then come back. We should be like that. Do not have any be neutral with them and then lead the life in this way. Now, if they're eager, then slowly ask them to do the process of shawana and then move forward. If they're interested, they will come. Otherwise, we'll just continue our business. And then how we are knowing that we are spending our time or in the right way, we need to have some service, no? We need to have a person, we need to ask him, can I do this? Can I do that? What service can I do? Then they will tell. Should have that kind of a person in our life. Then it will make sense. Is that okay, Amma?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hare Krishna. Yes, Karina, please do the Prem Dhani and then we'll come back.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Give me 1 second, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Ram Mangala Prabhupada.